Welcome back. I think we're back. So, welcome back to RPGs We Love. We're here with AmazingToaster, and this is Zelda 2 Randomizer with Candle. And you voted for the tournament brackets, so that's what we're going to see. Just a reminder that Toaster has created a max rando ideal seed that's going to be crazy and amazing, and we are at $45 out of 100 for that, so there's just 55 more, and you can see all of the crazy hard work that Toaster has put in to making the ideal seed. So yeah, please donate for that.
I didn't make the site. We found it.
Okay, they found it. But I'm going to put all of the credit towards Toaster.
It's a fun one, though.
That's awesome. So without further ado, shall we start?
Yep. All right. I'm ready. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
So the first thing you're going to notice, once we get out of Northern Palace here, is that we have generated a completely new world. And we immediately find Palace 1. But palaces are not yet in logic, so going in there does not make any sense quite yet. The other thing you'll notice is that we got a desert encounter. When we stepped on... was that a piece of... it was a piece of grass that we stepped on, so the encounters are shuffled up as well. The thing we're looking for here at the beginning of the game is mostly items. Some spells would be good as well. Death is going to happen quite a bit early in this game, especially in this cave. This is the Medicine Cave, which can be quite difficult early on to get through, so I'll give it a shot here, but I may need to get a little experience before we get going. Yeah. I'm not going to deal with that guy right now. We're going to up A. Whoops. Okay. So we're gonna go look for another cave, or a town, or somewhere that's a whole lot friendlier than that cave, because that cave can, especially, can be very nasty to you early on. We have mixed the large and the small enemy types, so instead of getting just a bunch of Octoroks on that bridge like you might in the Octoroks and bots, I think is what it is in vanilla, you get a lot of nasty enemies, and this is either Palace 3 or 6, we can't tell until we go inside. And we are not going to go inside right yet, because, again, we have no logic telling us that we should. Okay. We can corner this guy here. And he gives us 70 XP, and we're going to take a life level. The leveling in this game, so attack leveling does just exactly that. It gives you more attack power. Magic reduces the cost of your spells, and then the life level isn't actually giving you more life, it's giving you more defense, so the hits that you take less damage from them. I'm going to take a real quick detour. There's a hint system in this game where there are 4 global hints hidden through the towns. And he's telling us that in one of the western caves there's a heart container. And just like in the vanilla game, you come in here, pick up this lady's mirror, take it back to her in town, and she lets us in. Now, these have been shortened a little bit, and the text speed is a lot faster. And we now have the Reflect spell, one of the required spells in order to finish Palace 4. So we can do that much once we have enough, once we get this cost on that spell down some. Again, we're going to go look for some more items. I like hitting, especially until we found Sorry Town. Well, we have found Sorry Town. until we found both ends. I like looking in four squares because we could potentially... Oh yeah, we've been in this cave. I've been talking too much. We're gonna look here in this. Okay, this is the drop that normally takes you to the island with Palace 3. We do not have the fairy spell, so we can't get through there right now. We do not have the raft, so we cannot go east yet. Okay. The southern desert. I think this is southern. Has grave encounters on it. This is the Heart Cave. Oh gosh, this guy doesn't like us very much. And he's gonna kill us. I really wish I had enough magic to cast Reflect right now, because I could use that to deal with those axes. Instead, we're gonna be really aggressive here and get up in his face and kill him, so that we can get through to the second screen of this cave, where we find the cross. This is actually an item we tend to not want to see. Because it has no utility other than making the Moas on the eastern continent visible. Yeah, we're on the south. There's a rock. There's an item in that cave, but we can't get in there. Okay. Ooh. Throwing a lot of stuff in the encounter. I'm also kind of testing enemies, trying to figure out how much experience I get from them, so that I can start gaining some levels, because you are very weak at the beginning of this game, so I do not be surprised if I start taking deaths. This cave is the pass that goes normally to the Palace 1, and that guy is in this cave as well, and being just as much of a jerk the other way as he was the other way. I'm gonna reload this and see if I can get him to heal a little better. Nope, nope, nope. There we go. Attack 2. Everything goes down a whole lot easier now. That is the back end of the fairy drop. It would appear that we have lost the back end of the that's the top side of the jump cave. A through cave we have not seen the other side of, and I think that's game over, isn't it? Yeah. This can happen early on. It only gets easier from once we start gaining some levels. Oh. That little patch of grass out in the middle of that swamp. We want to go there. That's an item. Normally this is where a heart container would be, down south of level 1. Or Palace 1, I should say. And this is probably that heart container the bot was telling us about earlier. I'll take a dip in here in order to reset the encounters. Oh, nice. Oh. That was not the, I had more experience than I thought. Okay. We've been up here. Okay. So that's the through. We're still missing towns. And we are still missing a raft. We need some items in order to make some forward progress. All we found so far is a cross, which is very infuriating. Okay. Okay. No, I wanted to actually take the life level so that I don't die. And we've already done... We've got enough magic now that we can cast the Reflect spell, and those red dire axes will bounce off of our shield with that cast, which will help us get in here. And get a magic container. That's important for later in the game, but right now it doesn't do us a whole lot because we only have the one spell available to us. We are going to go ahead. We know one's in the west. No, not that cave. No, we've seen the other side of this. Okay. We are going to try, I believe this is the answer at this point, the jump cave. It's 3 screens long, so we tend not to like, we don't like taking it when we don't have to, but in this case it looks like it is going to be the solution to get to the other half of the western continent. The way
I'm just curious, could you explain like the way the logic works? Because I've never actually played Zelda 2, so...
Yeah, okay. So, at the beginning of the game, you are not expected to be able to have to go into palaces for items or basically to move the game forward until you have either the magic key, which is you'd normally get towards the end of the game, right before Palace 6, or you have the fairy spell so that you can fairy through locks. What it comes down to is you need to be able to get through locked doors in palaces to be able to move the game forward. And here we go. So the town of Saria is a through. Hold on. Who else was? Okay. Taking care of a little tracking here. I haven't been keeping up on. So you need one of those two. This is Palace 5. And a second rock-blocked cave. That's not particularly nice. Here we have some interesting bridge pathing. The nice thing we're getting is we are getting a lot of 500 point payback, so we're able to pump levels a little bit here and make things easier for us as we go on. Okay. We have found the town of Ruru, which is the other town that has a free spell in the west. Take a life refill. There is no magic refill in this town, because you're expected to come here and get shield at the beginning of the game and not have had any time to cast any spells. And this is very good. The fairy spell, which lets us, well, it's both good and bad. It means that we may need to go into one of those 3 palaces in order to get the raft so that we can go to the other half of the game. But it means palaces are now in logic. Okay, nothing up here. We still need to find the town of Mido. That is the number one thing I want to do at this very moment. Okay, that is the trophy. That is a 3rd spell available to us now. Didn't get there in time. Okay. Okay. Oh, this is good. This is Bagu's house. This is a shortcut. We don't have to go through Jump Cave anymore. We can... Well, we also have the fairy spell. But we do not have to go through the town in order to get back up here. We did not hit this little corner up here. And there's our missing town. I do want a magic refill. I also want to check for hints. Seen 1 hint for a heart. We have the trophy, so instead of her telling us where the trophy is at, she will give us entrance into here and the shield spell. Okay, so that means Palace 3 has our raft. And either glove is... Either the item in 3 is available gloveless, or glove is somewhere that's available to us. It could be in P1 for all we know at this point. Or hammer could also be in P1, potentially. The thing I don't want to think about is hammer potentially being in Death Mountain, because getting into Death Mountain is not a fun time. Okay. This is the town of Mito. In addition to having a spell, which we do not have the item to pick it up quite yet, it also has a sword technique. And because we have the fairy spell, we can come up here, go in the door, and come talk to this guy, and we now have the downstab. Actually, now I'm thinking about it. Raft in 3. Is this even randomized? Yes, the guy who teaches us to press down. Okay. We know we don't need the item out of 5 quite yet. We could need it at some point, but it's not required quite yet. Thinking a little bit about what to do here. We've seen Heart Cave. Oh. We still have 2 blocked caves. And that is a key. Drops are also randomized. Normally you would not see a key drop from an enemy like that. We found one of our entrances to Death Mountain. And we're gonna do a quick check here to see if we can find... No, okay. Oh, what am I doing? Peon's right there. So, in addition to the overworld being a random map, all the rooms that were normally in the palaces are still there. They've just been rearranged a little bit. Let's see here. Okay. There are 2 left end dead ends and 2 right dead ends in this palace. One of the lefts has the item. One of the rights has Horsehead. And then the other 2 have small items. Having the downstab technique helps you quite a bit. You can get past some enemies that otherwise would give you some trouble. I'm gonna go ahead and try this. Okay. I'm gonna see if there's a key here. I would like to recoup that key if I can. one of the changes put into the randomizer is that up A works to take you back to the beginning of the palace, not only for the Grand Palace at the end of the game, but it also works for the 6 regular palaces during the game. And so when you get to a dead end like that, you can easily go back. No free keys. So everything's off the tea room. Okay, here's the bridge. Normally there's just a couple bots in this room, but having an iron knuckle there can be trouble, and I'm kind of worried about... Okay, no. What's worse is the normal-sized Goomas. When they're there, they can cause you a lot of trouble by throwing things at you. And there's our hammer. Okay. So coming in here before going to 3 was likely a very good idea. As now that we have the hammer, we can get at those 2 rock-blocked caves, which are going to be the Peabag Cave and the Trophy Cave. And one of them very well could have the glove in it, which is usually required for traversing level 3. It's a small level, and... Oh, I don't have enough for... Okay. Hey, Blue Iron Knuckle, come here. Sometimes you need to do this, especially when you get fairy area like this. So this will lead us to Horsehead. We can go ahead and kill him and get out of P1. We'll have a gem. And he rolled very low on life, which means we could kill him a whole lot easier. And that's our first gem placed. 5 to go. If you haven't been paying attention, we found that we have 1 and 5 here in the west, and the raft is in 3, which means we are going to go back and see if we can't find Glove, hopefully in one of these rock-blocked caves. Let's get back on the path. Trying to remember exactly where this rock block was. There it is. There was one down here and there's one up north. This is the trophy cave. And today it has the glove. A very important item that you will find is necessary in order to complete about 99.99% of all seeds. Especially those that have 6 gems in them. Okay, level 3, where'd we put you? I know we saw you. And I believe we saw you in the south. Oops, I did not mean to come in here. There you are. Okay. P3. Apart from P1, it is the smallest palace. And we need to break in using Fairy. Unfortunately, that key is sitting up there. I can't get it right now. You will also find that palaces 1, 3, and 5 have one enemy set, where palaces 3, 4, and 6 have a different enemy set. So even if you see the same enemy in a palace, it will actually have a potentially a different experience roll. And that's something I did not explain yet. The experience points that enemies drop is randomized upper. There's basically a chart that has all the experience points going from 0, 2, 3, 5, 10, 20, and so forth. Oh, just a pea bag. 2 pea bags in this room. That's how unfortunate.
Just a reminder to everybody watching, we're watching RPGs We Love, and this is a marathon to showcase a bunch of really cool RPGs by a bunch of awesome people. We are going until tomorrow, so there is still more to come. And the money that we're raising is going to go to help pay the Valkyries to get to help pay for the Valkyries to go to. I'm sorry, I can't words today. To help pay for the Valkyries to go to RPG Limit Break in May, and that includes airfare and hotels, and any extra money that we get will actually be donated to Toonami, which is a charity of choice for RPG Limit Break. So thank you everyone so much for your support. 2 of our Valkyries, Silverfire and Sparkover, will be going and playing Dragon Warrior Randomizer as a race at RPG Limit Break. So thank you for helping us support them to go. And there is actually a really cool showcase of the Max Rando Ideal Seed showcase for this Zelda 2 randomizer that was found. So we only need $55 more to finish that off and get that really cool showcase. So definitely please get your money in for that. And thank you everyone so much for your support.
I skipped a life level there. I'm trying to get Fairy to hopefully drop another a bit more so that I can cast it twice on 1 bar of magic. Right now it's costing 44, and my magic bar is, with 5 seconds, that means it's a total of 80. And if you do the math, 44 does not go into 80 twice, unfortunately. But yes, that little bouncing routine is the easy way to kill Reedmanek, especially when you're on I can catch a break. It's P-bags and one-ups and everything but. Okay. I think we have to go back. Yeah, we have to go up. Also, that's why the downstep technique is so such a good thing to have. There's only 3 right dead ends, and I've seen the other 2 through the boss, and so we know we have to go here. Actually, what am I doing? I need to die again. Should we take this death? Okay. Now we can come through this door, pick up our raft, do a little save. And why do I keep... I'm gonna leave Palace 5 alone for now. The boss is not particularly nice, if you've ever fought him. And especially having only attack 4, he's especially unfun to fight, because usually about attack 5 is where you start doing real damage. And I'm paying attention to chat and getting myself killed here. I do have the cross, so there will be no invisible Noahs to... They're all visible now. Which may actually be a good thing. If they didn't have a... Eh. In the east, there are 3 towns which will give you spells for nothing. And there's one hidden town, which is hidden under a patch of a single tile of forest like this that doesn't have an encounter. It's always the town of New Kasuto. In Randomizer, this woman will require somewhere between 5 and 7. Okay, the flute is in the east. That's actually a very good thing to know, because that's required. Hey kid, how you doing? He's hanging out here rather than on Maison. we've already gotten a hint from this town, so... Do not know the spell, so we can't get at the other item in this town yet. So we're just gonna go get the, get the spell here. Life spell. Useful, but not required. Okay. It does... It could be that the flute may be there, so we may be required to get the spell, and then come back here, use it to get into what would normally be the magic key spot in order to unlock that. But, yes, it is a spell called Spell. Believe it or not. Normally, well, its main use is opening up the spell tower, but it will also okay, that's a through cave. Here's the town of Old Kasuto. Destroyed except for this one house with the old man who has the Thunder spell. And it's castable. Really, the only thing we need at this point, that we know we need, is the flute. Ooh, come on. A little big swamp there. Yeah, there's our river devil. We can't get through there. And we don't have boots, so we can't go across that quite yet. So... Oh. Would I rather deal with desert encounters? I'm gonna do a little fairy feet here. And just skip through that encounter. This is the other encounter. The back end of the encounter down by Old Kasuto. The front, or the back room of that looks like this one, but the front room does not look like this. Would you please die? And we appear to be in the top third. Oh, we're dead. Actually, rather than go back through that cave. With one life left, we're gonna go back through this. Unfortunately, when you die in the overworld, you go back to the Northern Palace, no matter when you game over. No matter if you're in the east or the west. And instead of going back through that cave, I'm gonna go back across the ocean. Normally I don't like going out the right end of that particular encounter, but the eyeball's kind of in my way, so I can't get out easily in the left. Okay. Could you please... Thank you. The west is broken up basically in half like it is in the original game, and the east is broken up into thirds, roughly. Just like in the original game. Okay, this is a P-bag cave that has an item of some sort in it. And you have a lot of HP. The nice thing about the drops is that it is a standardized drop table. At least in the settings we had for the tournament. So each group, when you reset or when you up A like that, each group will give out their drops in a specific order. So I know that the small group this is not where I want to be. So I know that that 500 point bag is the first thing in that particular set of drops, and it will be every time I up A. So I can get back a little XP that way. That is a short through. Okay, we are in the south. There's your flute. This is P6. If it wants to, it can loop on us. Okay, here's a Revo. I think it's here. Just like in the third palace, we can... Oh. We have shield, yeah. If we can't get him to sit in the right spot, push him around the room a little bit. It's often faster on higher attack levels to be able to kill him that way, but I would rather have cornered him if I could there. Oh. He drops a key. Oh. Let's get our magic refill. Okay, you guys are being jerks. Ooh. Oh, I have fairy ready. This is... Yeah, that was happening. Not the first time I've ferried through a door, or tried to ferry through a door when I had a key, and it will definitely not be the last. Oh, okay. We did not find the fairy drop there. Okay. Oh, there could be a key here. How this game's been treating me, I would gladly dig in there for a key, but of course not. It's another pea bag. Shoot. Okay. Oof. We got one in reserve. Apparently not. Is there a key in here? There is. These bubbles are just savaging me right now. So at this point, I actually do have everything needed in order to complete the game. At this point, all I need to do... I need to find Mazed Island. Because there's a palace there still. I need to find the Valley of Death. Shoot. That's gonna have fairy drop down there. So... check here. Okay, this is a drop. This is... betting we're gonna end up above... No! Okay. This is the item. Oh, we were a little far over. Notice he went down a lot easier with attack 5. And a 50-point P-bag. Oh. This game really does not like me tonight. Oh, I just realized what this probably means, and I don't like it. Yeah, we can't get out of here. Oh. Nope, not taking that hit. it means in this floor, without the jump spell... Okay, I may need to go find the jump spell. Because this is an incredibly hard thing to do. I'm gonna give it a shot, but... It's over here, right? Yep. Give this one shot, but I get the feeling I may need to... Hey, we did it! On this floor, that is incredibly hard to do. I'm not gonna get it to 1200. And here's Barba. We do not have jump spells, so the old Yak Hammer strat is not really viable. So we do this. Okay, he's got maybe one more hit on him. And I missed. Yeah, he did have one more hit on him. Oops. You forgo the experience that way. Alright, half the palaces are done. Still have to find two, well, actually three more of them, because GP's still out there somewhere. Gonna go ahead and take that level now. Get our lives back. And I'm thinking... Oh. Is Maze Island gonna be down in this corner? Am I gonna need boots to get... Ooh, that complicates things slightly. Yeah, we just found out that we need boots in order to finish. Because we have to get across that river in order to get to Maze Island. Just when you think you got everything. Okay, this short path here leads to Palace. We're gonna go ahead and check it out. Okay, that is GP. So, what do we have left as far as items go? We have a Peabag Cave. We have whatever's behind Spell in New Kasuto. Here's our Peabag Cave. The Grand Palace. And it's just a heart. We have a desert square. We also have Death Mountain and a Peabag Cave back in the east. Unless I didn't mark Desert Square, but I don't think I have found Desert Square yet. So we're gonna go ahead, since we're in the east already and we're most of the way through it. Let's see if we can't find this, I'm also welcoming of other towns at this point. Here's Palace. It is Palace 4. So that means Palace 2 is going to be the one on Maze Island, because it is the odd man out at this point. The item here is on the right, just like in... Oh! Oh, interesting. Okay, so the middle room's not there. Missed that jump. Okay. Oh. There's nothing good to kill me here, is there? Is there a key in here? Yeah. All of the palace rooms are in a different order. I don't have upstab. Can't get in there. Okay. It's the boss. Go ahead and take a death here. And kill him. Kill Karak. I think this is the only way out of this palace segment too. He rolled low on health, that's good. Four palaces down. Still need an item though. We're gonna go ahead and see. We can't find boots in here. That would be kind of interesting because if you're familiar with the original game, this is where boots are. Oh. They're not there. Go ahead and see if that cliff I failed to dive off of, or I failed to jump the gap on earlier, see if that's it. Actually, what's up here first? Nah, let's try this first. The other fun thing, if you're used to the vanilla game, you'll notice that the spells are out of order, so quick navigation of your spell menu is sometimes difficult. up there. That was a dead end to the right. No, there's nothing else down here. Carrick was the only exit from that, so we have to go... double down left. No, that's another one of these rooms. Any keys? Nope. When you play as much Zelda 2 Rando as those of us that race it do, each room that you go into is one that you've seen many times before. So there's basically pattern recognition where you're familiar with seeing a room and you just know from experience. Yeah, I was gonna be able to ferry there anyways. You know from experience that a room is a dead end and that you're just gonna turn around at that point. Okay, this is the item room. What do we got? Copy bag. Okay. Better to know than not, I guess. I think the... starting to think that the desert square... either it's through one of these caves? Not that one. There are a couple of caves over here. A lot of the resources that exist for the base game, I can't remember whether there's random specific ones or not. I'm pretty sure there are some random specific entries in redcandle.us, which has a lot of information, not just about this game, but also Zelda 1, both the 8-bit Zeldas. There's a lot of information about both games on that site. And for example, I can tell just walking up to them which palace is which. You can tell by the columns, and then, well, you can tell everything but 3 and 6. You can tell 1 and 4 apart easily, and then you can tell 3 and 6 apart quite easily as well. Okay, so this just takes us up here. We went through that. I think at this point I need to go back west. We have to clean up P5 while we're over here anyways. So we might as well do that. take a look at what the item is up there, as that could be our ticket. No, it's over here. Yeah, there is a Zelda 2 Discord that has both info on base game as well as rando. That one should be... I think that one may be linked from Red Candle as well. Go ahead. Oops. Well, since we're in here. I should have jumped before I ferried. Tried moving up after I got into the gap there. Okay, there is a rock block cave, which we're gonna go try and check real quick here. Not P5 quite yet. Right up here. Okay, this is the P-Bag Cave for the west. And it has nicely placed little columns there that you can jump over and just... Game hates me. It has not given me any keys. And it has boot blocked me and not given me boots. It's time to go dig Death Mountain, unfortunately. Death Mountain, just like in the original, it's a maze. Quite often, the connections of all the caves makes no sense. And then sometimes you go through one passage and you find the item you need in order to be able to finish the game. But we did need hammer, which I do not believe we had when we originally found this. Because we were still short of glove, I believe. So... remember when we thought we were go earlier? We are actually go now. Or, as we like to say in terms of this game, we are full Dig Shake. Dig Shake being the creator of the randomizer. Hasn't been updated much recently. But he's also a new father. That particular passage there, that's a dead end that has, I believe, no item in P5, so going down it is worthless. P5 is very much a maze. There are a lot of rooms that look alike. For example, this one, there's 3 or 4 copies of this room. This happens to be the one that has a key door on it. Probably the good thing for me is that there are a number of red jars available. So going through doors and refilling mana can help me get through things here. Oh, game, why do you do this to me? At least it gave me a key. Okay, let's go left. There's 2 or 3 copies of this room. Oh, you are telling me there are 500. No. Yeah, I'm gonna stick here for just a sec. It is not every day that you find 500 point. Okay, you don't want to drop any. $500 Magos. That is the very best thing that can come out of drippers.
So, while I was busy making dinner, I had a certain little bug sitting in for me, but apparently I heard that it was go mode, so I came back to mention that there is an incentive that is running until the end of this game to show off the ideal seed of this Zelda 2 randomizer, and I'm sure it's a pretty special seed. So, Toaster, could you just tell us approximately how long that takes? Just so people understand why it's so awesome.
It's going to be the best 3 minutes of Zelda 2 you will ever see.
There you have it, my friends. The estimate for this game is 1 hour and 45 minutes, and it's going to be the best 3 minutes of Zelda 2 of your life. Now, if that doesn't tell you anything about that randomizer seed, then I don't know what does. So definitely, please, just $55 more to get that met, and we'll be on our way to the best 3 minutes of our life.
Okay. There's attack 6. Oh. Just barely didn't make it under that bubble. More often than not in P6, going left can be the solution until you find a dead end. Did I say P? P5. So this branch is dead. I'm gonna go ahead and go back down. Unwind a bit of this. This room is clear. Go ahead and grab Eco Key. Yeah, because we ferried up here. Yep, we haven't been to this. Oh, this room. Gonna go ahead and ferry through this room, because as you might be able to tell, it is not a fun room to deal with. Okay. Where have we not been? Left from start.
I'm looking at the tracker to try and tell you, but I have no idea.
This is often the worst palace to go through in the game. Even over GP, we came up here. Came down here. I think we may have taken... No, this was the key. Okay. PT will be quick, I promise.
Alright, I get it. You guys aren't satisfied with just 3 minutes of Max Rando. So let me tell you about what happens if you help get the ideal seed showcase met. We actually have 2 marathon stretch goals after you guys totally smashed our $3,000 and $5,000 goals. The first one is at $6,000. We get to have a Valkyrie Q&A session, like all of those questions you ever wanted to ask us, like what our favorite ice cream is, and do we like butterflies, and some all really cool questions that I'm sure my silly mind can't exactly come up with. All of those. Most of those. All of the PG ones. We will be answering on stream, you know, not at the end of this marathon, but we'll get us all together, and we'll even ask Tina what her favorite hacking language is. We'll just do everything. Yeah, like what our favorite RPG of all time is. Our Bear's Tasty will be answered exactly. All of these questions and more in a live Q&A Valkyrie Q&A session for the stretch goal of $6,000. But wait, there's more. Donate now, and at $7,000, Tina's Fun Corner with at least 7 quotation marks will come back for full force, and all of us Valkyries will probably regret that decision, but Tina will love it, and you will love it, and therefore we love it. So please, just $55 more to get this Max Rando, along with all of these other really cool incentives that are coming up. There's some for Ancient Roman, Power of Dark Side, which I heard was a very special game. Fantasy Star with Mr. Starbird to get all dungeons. Ultima 4 with Squibbins to name the avatar, and the sing-along finale with Rhapsody, a musical adventure. So definitely, please, we want you to torture, help us get to RPG Limit Break. So yeah, your last time was pretty amazing. If you didn't see the last Fun Corner, it was beautiful and very inspiring and very Bible-y.
I need to let you talk more often, because while you were talking, I found Guma, killed Guma.
Yeah,
and
good
now
things
we're on
usually
the
happen.
final walk here.
Nice.
So, a special thing about the boots in the randomizer is that any inbound piece of water can be walked on. So all of those caves and paths I had to deal with earlier to get to this portion of the eastern continent, I don't have to do that this time. Instead, to come down here, find the river. We can walk along the river. That's the other thing, is the water squares are all safe. And there's our palace. Oh. Well, the game wanted us to have a 7th heart container. And it wanted me to forget that I needed to go immediately down. So, here's Palace 2. Ideally, we will follow this elevator all the way down. And it'll give us Helmet Head, but turns out that's not happening. Perhaps this time it will lead us to Helmet Head. Here we go. Okay. Place the gem here. Okay. Back to the mainland. Take advantage of some water here. Take advantage of Death Valley with no encounters, which is rather rare. Okay.
Cuso Grande. I was gonna think of something real cool, but I didn't. Darn. Cuso Grande. Kishira stumbles on her words edition. And also interrupts Toaster, sorry.
It's alright. I'm dealing with a particularly nasty opening room to the palace here.
Cuso Grande, kill that Blue Knight edition.
Yeah, those guys are jerks. Also, those spicy chickens are...
Spicy?
They're throwing fire, they're spicy, right?
Oh boy. That's very spicy.
Unfortunately, in trying to get through things... Oh, good lord, this is... this is a room. Oof. Come out here. Let's do a low life. Jeez. So this is one of the hazards of having large and small enemies. All the enemies inside that waffle room were supposed to have been small enemies, at least the ones trapped inside the blocks. They, as you can probably tell, were not. They were, except for one fire rope, they were all large. So before I was interrupted by that particularly nasty opening waffle room, Grand Palace in this particular flag set has had somewhere between 25 and 50% of its rooms removed. All the rooms that remain they can be any room, but... Oh, this has a magic container. Well, as long as it's not one of those red guys. Jerk. There's your RPG jerk bird of the game. Actually, those and the bird knights are both jerks in this game.
No, bark the jerk bird away.
So, somewhere between 25 and 50% of the rooms have been removed. Leaving us with a maze still to deal with in order to find... Looking for a couple rooms here. One of them being the room that has Thunderbird, because we have to go through that room, which is the room we just found here. Thunder at 50? I don't think I've ever... This is the lowest I've ever seen Thunder at 50. We don't have the jump spell.
Oh dear.
In an all-keys run, you would normally have the jump spell and deal with T-Bird by using that in addition to the Thunder spell to make him vulnerable. Well, in the randomizer, we do something called pendulum method. I think you can probably tell.
You go left, and then you go right, and then you go
there you
left.
Go. There you go. So, it is a requirement that you go through Thunderbird's room on the way to finding Dark Link. And sometimes Dark Link's room is immediately after Thunderbird. And that's time.
GG.
Dark Link takes exactly 8 hits to kill, no matter what level of attack you're at.
Much to my sadness, we won't be getting the best 3 minutes of Zelda 2 of our lives.
Can we,
But the good news is you can still donate to torture the Valkyries. Among the Valk Q&A and the Fun Corner. You can also have the sing-along finale, which is going to be beautiful. I and a bunch of other things. But the first of all the things coming up will be Ancient Roman with Watch the Cutscenes, and I've heard those are very special, so definitely get your donations in for that. I guess any final words, Toaster?
We thought we go. The game told us no. And it was also a required jump over the that hole in Palace 6 that I did not have jump for, and with the bricks the way they are, that's an incredibly difficult. I'm glad I got it, because I was not looking forward to figuring out what I needed to do in order to get jump.
Thank you so much for the really, really awesome run. And yeah, everyone, please definitely drop a follow to AmazingToaster. He's amazing.
Thanks for having me, and looking forward to seeing all y'all at RPG Limit Break.
Definitely, I feel the same. So, coming up next, we have Valkyrie Profile 2's Silmeria with Aramlis. I can finally ask Aramlis personally if I say his name is their name right, because I have no idea. And yeah, hold on real tight and we'll be right back.